Today is November 6th. I am joined today on my podcast with Greg Calfine on the left and Stephen Long on the right. Both of you, thank you for joining me today on the podcast. Today is Sunday, so let's open up the podcast with talking about football. And let's talk about the afternoon game that actually just concluded. The Packers and Colts game, 31-26. Indianapolis Colts defeated your Packers. Greg, what is the deal?
Well, let's get something straight here. The best part of the Packers game was the squirrel running on the field.
Yes.
That was the best thing.
The narration behind it was perfect. Chris Nance said that he wanted to get actual times for that squirrel running. And they actually panned the camera very slow and uptight. And this, Steven, I don't know if you saw the squirrel. Perfect form.
Unfortunately, I did not watch the game. Didn't see the squirrel.
Being a track athlete, you should have seen the squirrel run.
It was graceful, I bet.
I recommend, Steven, actually searching it up. The squirrel that, it was around for a good 5-10 minutes of the games. They couldn't catch the damn thing.
Yeah, best thing about the Packers game.
Absolutely. What was wrong? Did you see what was going on with the field?
Yeah.
They were talking about it before the game. What's funny though is that in the preseason, the Packers and Colts could not play due to field conditions in the past. And now there's something wrong with the field where players they're slipping everywhere.
Look, that's just excuses.
It is excuses, but
it's excuses because it's due.
It's due.
It's due.
The Dewey do.
It's due.
Are we saying the Packers field is trash?
It's due. It's due. It's not like the field was soaked after a big thunderstorm or anything like that. No hurricane. It was due.
Yeah, it was so stupid. It's a huge deal. They were making a huge deal about it. Everyone kept on slipping about it. These guys have to figure it out. You're a professional athlete. Even if it's dew, rain, anything, figure it out.
Some players change their cleats. Everybody change their cleats.
Yeah,
somebody do something. Aaron Rodgers
apparently,
glasses.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's my next point. Aaron Rodgers. Pretty slow start, but he kind of picked it up towards the end of the game. Are you giving up on the Aaron Rodgers bandwagon just yet?
No. Aaron Rodgers is the team. I'm giving up on the offensive coordinator. I'm giving up on offensive coordinator. The Packers
exactly like Joe Flacco. You remember when Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl, got the highest contract, and what is Flacco doing right now?
Yeah, what has Joe Flacco done since?
Aaron Rodgers.
Great point.
Aaron Rodgers is done.
Great point.
Andrew Luck? It's all the same. He's got one good year. The only consistent quarterback in this league right now, Tom Brady. That's it.
It's true. It's true. You know who's been nice this year?
That's a hot take.
Maddie. That is a hot take. Hot take. Correct take. Do you know who's been money this year, fantasy-wise? Matty Ryan. He's been throwing dimes. He's the second best quarterback in the NFL.
The Packers.
Yeah, it's true. But listen, the Packers could not get it done past Andrew Luck. To close it out with the Packers game, is Andrew Luck elite?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. As a Packers fan, and after you just took that defeat, you're admitting that Andrew Luck's elite?
He's elite.
Okay.
He beat Aaron Rodgers, so you know what? He's elite. Because Aaron is elite.
Aaron is elite. Steven.
Geno Smith could beat Aaron Rodgers.
Oof. Steven said today when he came over there, he was going to come out with some hot takes. He's coming out swinging today. Swinging.
Wow.
Heaters only.
That was a heater.
Unfortunately,
nuking him.
Unfortunately, Geno Smith could not play, though, for the Jets because he tore his ACL in the relieving effort of Ryan Fitzpatrick in his horrible start. So the Jets played today an in-division opponent in the Miami Dolphins, and they ended up losing a game that, again, they should have won.
I wanted the shutout, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I was hungry for it.
The Jets did score first, and I did get in Sean's face, and I said, "Listen, Sean, we're shutting you out." And I was confident from there on out.
And that statement was about as crazy as Greg's hair looks right now.
Oof, hey now.
Because obviously they were not going to shut up.
The Jets now fall to 3-6 after this loss. They should have really got the win though. With under 5 minutes to go, the Jets special teams allowed a return a kick return touchdown, and this guy went untouched to the house, like 90 yards, dagger, killed the Jets. From that, the Jets could not recover. From here on out, are we going with Bryce Petty or are we going with Ryan Fitzmagic still? Or, excuse me, Ryan Fitztragic.
You're going to go with
Hackenberg. Okay. Did you see, though? Petty did get some snaps today, though. Because...
Yeah, but the Jets are still awful.
I know. But it's the lesser of the two goods. Like, do you really want to, go to the complete rebuild and just say Petty and Hackenberg, it's your turn?
Yeah.
Or are we just going to keep on riding the bus with Fitzpatrick?
Give him a chance. I say give him a chance until they at least work out a way to get Chad Pennington back. Because you know how big of a fan I am of Mr. Pennington.
Absolutely.
And I want him back on the Jets. I think he'll do a lot of big things. But I say give this kid a chance.
Listen, we talked.
He's not working.
We talked about Chad before. Probably for me, as a Jets fan, probably my favorite franchise quarterback. He could not throw the ball over 15 or 20 yards. But anything under that was so accurate, and for that, he was legendary. I considered him my Tom Brady of the Jets. It's great.
He was good at giving you hope that the playoffs might be a thing.
Yeah, and then he always got hurt, and then we always had a backup like Kellen Clemens or Brooks Bollinger. Legends, people that you don't even know right now. Legends, replacements of Chad Pennington. On the other side of New York football, the Giants were home today, and they beat the Eagles in an in-division matchup, 28-23. The Giants were ahead in that game for most of the time, and then Carson Wentz, who was struggling earlier in the game, managed to put up 364 yards against the Giants, and only managed to lose by 5 points. Is he the real deal, Carson Wentz?
I think so. I think the Eagles can build a franchise around him.
Mm-hmm. I think
what the Eagles are doing.
Yeah,
they need a running game.
Yeah, they need a running attack. They need a running game to support that. They only have Ryan Matthews and Darren Sproles, and Darren Sproles is just the receiving guy. Yeah, fly birds fly.
He's going to retire.
He's going. Yeah, eventually though. He's got to be up there. Darren Sproles. Grittiest player in the league. Grinder.
Yeah.
He's such a grinder.
He's like
Oof. He's a gritty kind of guy.
He's like Frank, and he keeps grinding.
Yeah. Frank Gore has been everywhere.
Frank Gore had a game.
Frank Gore was one of the few who slipped on the dew. Actually, I don't know if you caught that.
he still had a game though.
He still had a game, but listen, Cakes, he was one of the few that got taken out by the dew.
On a dry field, some people slip too. So you know what? You can't do that.
Can we actually go back to that though? They said that they put something on the field before the game,
yeah, they did.
so that people would not so that the conditions would be good. And they were, what were they afraid of? I don't even know. They were afraid of people slipping, and then you see cleats just gliding across the grass the whole entire night. Frank Gore, the gritty grinder, being one of them. This is actually one of the more talked about topics in the NFL for the past couple of weeks, with the franchise or former franchise quarterback Tony Romo going down with another back injury.
Can we please talk about Romo?
Yeah, we have to talk about his replacement though, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was a late round draft pick and was groomed to be the backup of Tony Romo. And when Tony Romo went down week 1 with an injury, Dak Prescott has been the guy since who stepped in and is up for Rookie of the Year talks, along with his teammate Ezekiel Elliott.
The beast.
Yes.
Ezekiel's going to win it because he was starting from day one.
What's funny, though, is that Ezekiel can win Rookie of the Year and MVP.
Yeah, he's not good.
Yeah,
he's the new Adrian Peterson because Adrian Peterson is getting old.
I was talking about it today with somebody. It's the Cowboys' O-line that makes any running back scary good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, DeMarco.
They're horrible. Frank Gore is just a tank.
Mm-hmm. Frank Gore is a tank. Frank Gore is a tank. He was a beast in San Francisco.
And San Fran ran everything with Frank Gore. The Colts, Everything is with
Mhm.
Frank Gore.
A little bit more about San Francisco, Kaepernick, and the 49ers after. But to close out with the Cowboys situation, Jerry Jones, the owner of the team, came out and said that regardless of the stellar play of Dak Prescott, and being that this guy has only thrown one interception, he's still going to continue to stick with Tony Romo.
That's absurd.
Jerry
Absurd.
Jones is only good at one thing.
No one is more upset about this Tony Romo thing than me because I had to kick him off of my fantasy team, okay?
I was...
The guy's fat. He came to preseason fat. That's why he has a back injury, because he's too fucking fat,
Yep.
okay? And he can't play.
Mhm.
So this guy, Dak Prescott, he showed up. He came to play. Also, can we talk about the fact that Tony Romo was never that good to begin with?
Yes.
Why is he standing next to this guy?
Mhm.
He's got a young player who's not fat, who wants to play. Give him the ball.
This guy, Dak Prescott, only one interception on the year. For a rookie quarterback, or for any quarterback for that matter. That is unbelievable.
It wasn't an interception against the Packers
Yes,
too.
it was. I think Clinton Dix was the one who sniped it. There you go.
Baby.
Roll
We
pack,
still got
roll.
rock anyway.
True. Listen, they only have one loss in the year. They're rolling, and their one loss in the year was to the New York Giants. Ooh. Ooh. Hey now.
Cooking.
Hey now. And that was, I believe, week
settle.
1. I believe that was week 1.
Tony Romo belongs in the Jets.
Wow.
Keep Dak Prescott in Dallas and send Romo to the Jets.
That's a hot take.
Hmm.
But you know what? I think, Mom, would you take Romo?
Would you take Romo as a Jets fan?
You know what? Wow. All right. I honestly have never thought about Tony Romo in anywhere besides Dallas. I would love it. I would take Tony Romo right now. I mean, with what we have right now, we've got a broken Ryan Fitzpatrick who's horrible. He makes horrible decisions. He forces things that just aren't meant to be. We have our backup is Geno Smith towards ACL. He's cooked, done, whatever. Hackenberg, he doesn't know the system, obviously, because if he did, then they would have played him already. So
Yeah.
I'm moving on from him. Petty's petty. He blows my opinion. So from there, I would not mind taking Romo. But the problem with Romo being on the Jets is that the Jets do not have the same offensive line as Dallas. And
Well, the offensive line isn't horrendous on the Jets.
it's not horrendous, but Romo, like, he gets his share of, like, he will get his share
He's
of
gonna get
pressure.
knocked down.
Yeah, and comparing the style of play, I'm not saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick is a speedy, fast quarterback, but when you're comparing Fitzpatrick to Romo, you kind of see Fitzpatrick as more of a scrambler and a guy who will get out of the pocket if he senses trouble. Romo is a guy who will try to stay in the pocket, create a play, and will do anything he can to make it happen, which makes
that's why Romo wins games.
Yeah, he wins games when he's in, and when
Yeah.
he's just never in, though. He's always hurt. That's a problem.
Yeah.
I would take Tony in New York. That's a hot take, but I'll take it.
I feel like
to New
you
York.
would take almost anyone, though, because the Jets have nothing.
Yeah, if you tell me that Mark Sanchez is signing with the Jets tomorrow, like, I'd be excited about it. Like, hell yeah. Like, AFC Championship runs, like, first 2 years, like, I get excited about that. For the Cowboys situation overall, though, final call, Dak Prescott or Tony Romo. Lock it in.
Dak.
Dak Prescott away. Get your young gun. Start a franchise.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
at
Just
this
like
point,
Bledsoe Brady.
at this
Patriots
point,
don't look back. Cowboys don't need to look back.
he's a 36-year-old quarterback with
Dak attack.
need the Dak attack. Romo's a 36-year-old quarterback with just chronic injuries, and it's just he can't stay on the
He's too
field.
old. He's done.
Send him over to New York. We'll take
He's
him.
gonna do ERP commercials.
Oh yeah, stick on the commercials. And other small fantasy football news today. I don't know if I told you guys this. In my other fantasy football league, I made a huge trade with Matt Pollock. I
I saw that this weekend.
really, I'm currently beating him in fantasy, which is
That's why he
key
didn't
because
say hi to me. He's probably bitter about it.
fantasy god. Yeah, he's probably very upset. But we made a huge trade where he traded me Antonio Brown, and I traded him Mike Evans and Pierre Garcon, or something like one of my bench receivers. And I immediately thought, wow, like this is a great trade for me. Why is Matt Pollock, the genius, doing this? And I realized that there has to be a reason behind everything, because On Thursday night, Mike Evans against Atlanta had 11 receptions for 150 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. So he kind of just gave me a big FU to my big fantasy team for sending him on his way. And Antonio Brown and the Steelers were held quiet the whole entire game until Antonio finally caught one in the end zone. Steelers did end up losing that game, though, and Big Ben did end up playing. Melvin Gordon and the Chargers were just finishing up downstairs. Oh, back to Colin Kaepernick.
How does this afro fit that helmet? I support the afro 100%, but I just don't get how it fits in there.
Yeah, it's a heater. There's nothing left to say about it.
Jungle.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how that works. Like there's so much padding inside of that where like it has to not be comfortable.
Like, what does he like? Push it back like that, and then it kind of like flows out the end.
He started off the first like 2 or 3 weeks with the dreadlocks, so it was all curled. It was fine. It was put away. It's fine.
It was clean.
But today he put up just under 400 passing yards, put up 398, threw for 2 touchdowns, and they lost again. Kaepernick's back. And to wrap up the podcast for today, let's transition into basketball. Exciting start to the season so far. We have to talk about the super team in Golden State.
Not doing too well.
Yes, after losing with a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals, the Warriors decided to reload this offseason. Lost Harrison Barnes, lost Andrew Bogut, and the big addition, of course, is adding Kevin Durant, another franchise scorer.
Where did Bogut go? The Bucks?
Bogut went to the Mavericks with Harrison Barnes.
Oh, okay. They both went to the Mavericks. Okay.
Yeah, but of course, don't worry. The Warriors replaced it with Zaza Pachulia, so it's okay. All is good there.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. That's the point. He's not really that good.
Zaza's so good.
Yeah. No, Zaza's not.
Yeah, but you got to remember,
is good.
Kevin Durant's like 7 feet tall. He's just not a body. They need a body.
Okay, that is not how Zaza shoots. Zaza is buns.
Zaza's good.
He's buns.
Zaza's God.
Well, the Warriors are not God. They lost the other night, 2 or 3 nights ago. They lost to the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, I said it. The Los Angeles Lakers by over 20 points.
Well, I'm sure it's only because Kobe put up like 45 or something, right?
Wait.
Oh,
no.
Just kidding. Kobe retired. There's no reason the Lakers should have ever won that game. There's no way. What are the Warriors doing?
They're the super team. Stuff like that should not be happening. They should be blowing out teams like that. Even though it's a back-to-back. They had, I don't know who they had the night before. I believe they had Portland. But regardless, you're still the super team.
I think we talked about this before. A fourth of the best basketball team on the planet, Team USA, is on the Warriors.
Correct.
I got a hot take.
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Lay it on me.
Kevin Durant is the new Dwight Howard.
Wow.
That's a hot take.
All right. Why do you say that?
Kevin Durant is gonna choke under pressure.
Okay.
He's gonna
he always does.
He's gonna choke.
Listen.
When he got rattled by his old teammates. He's gonna choke.
When he was on,
but he got rattled. You could tell.
Mm-hmm. When he was on OKC for the Western Conference Finals, they had a 3-1 lead against the Golden State Warriors. Sure enough, Golden State came back to beat them, and they ended up advancing in that series to get to Cleveland in the finals to lose to them in a 3-1 after leading 3-1 against them. Are you guys convinced the Warriors are still the favorites to win it this year?
No, I never thought that. Even with the pickup of Durant, I just don't. I mean, every team has a couple kinks to work out. I think maybe they're going to hit their stride in like 10, 20 games.
Right.
We'll see a good streak of them winning a lot of games. And, of course, they're a team to be feared. But right now, who's going to compete with LeBron's work ethic, you know?
Yeah.
It's James.
Oh, yes.
I hate for a reason.
Yes. Are you going with the King again?
Take out a King?
Absolutely. I don't understand how LeBron should always be the favorite to win, in my opinion.
He usually is. I mean, he got it done last year when his back was against the wall in Golden State.
Did you see that article where he has the body of a 19-year-old?
Yeah, where he's still like
he's like 32, right, or something like that.
He's mid-30s now. Well, not mid-30s, but like lower end 30s.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's still the King. Best player.
Still your favorite. So the Cavs are your favorites, both of you.
Absolutely.
All right.
The Cavs knows how to win games.
Cavs, oof. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon, but if I'm submitting my NBA pick right now, besides the Knicks, because I think Porzingis is God and Melo is the GOAT, I'm probably going to say that the Warriors are probably going to figure it out in time.
Yeah, they're definitely going
to. It's going to take them time. When LeBron joined the Heat back in 2010 with Wade and Bosh, it wasn't smooth sailing for them when they started off. They had to figure out how to play with each other, how to score with one another, and how to get everyone involved and not just leave it on LeBron's shoulders. This is a completely different dynamic of the team. You have KD joining a team that already features two of the best three-point shooters in the NBA with Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson.
Uh-huh.
And then you have Draymond Green. That's like most of the USA team right there.
That's too many superstars for one team to handle. Too many egos.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you one thing.
Never going to work out.
Yeah.
I'm a big Kevin Durant fan. I do like Kevin Durant, but just the fact that he's on the same team as Draymond Green cancels that for me. I don't want them to win because I hate Draymond Green way more than I like Kevin Durant.
Completely negates it. Done.
As a scumbag. Put him somewhere I don't care about, like the Bucks or
Steven, I swear to God, when you started saying that, I was like, just throw him in Milwaukee. No one cares about Milwaukee. I swear on my life, I was thinking of Milwaukee. He'd be fine in Milwaukee.
Draymond Green, dude, he's the new Lance Stevenson. He's just a piece of shit. No one likes this guy.
Yeah, he's just kicking people in the nuts, dirtbag. Not a good guy.
First of all, let's talk about what's his name on Steven Adams. That guy's an angel. How are you supposed to?
Yes. Beast. He's the new wingman to Russell Westbrook. Now that KD is a little wimp.
I love Westbrook because let me tell you one thing: the golden age of basketball, mid-90s. Okay, absolutely.
The Jordan
basketball
era
was a man's sport in the mid-90s where you could do anything you want. It was dangerous. There were fights. There were technical fouls that weren't called. Whatever. It was great. We're talking about Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, all that good stuff. Okay, and that's where Russell Westbrook comes from. He loves the game. He doesn't care about reporters. He's going to win games. He's going to throw triple-doubles.
It's great to watch because he's there to do his job. He goes about it. He puts up triple-doubles every night, and then he's a freak. He doesn't really care about anything else.
The style of dress he wears just shows his confidence.
Yes.
The Thunder are going to go far, and the Warriors are going to crumble.
Who's making it?
No one has his ass in the Warriors.
James Harden is killing it as a point guard, by the way, this year. He's averaging at least 15 assists.
I hate Mike D'Antoni more than the next guy, but he can run an offense.
But he can't run a defense, and that's why we got him out of New York. Screw that guy.
Every job he's ever been in.
But they good offensive coordinator for the Packers.
Oof. Hey now, that's a hot take. Packers, Rodgers, and whoever's a running back now needs it.
Ty Montgomery is going to be the new running back.
Listen, I meant to tell you before, I had to start Don Jackson in my fantasy league because I didn't want to start Bilal Powell, and he got me 1 point. So thanks.
I mean, he's the Don, so you know what? He's a young guy. He's a rookie.
Yeah,
so, Give him time. Give him time. He'll show his Donness.
Absolutely.
The Don will Don.
The Don. Let the big Don eat. And with that, that wraps up today's podcast. Greg and Steven, thank you again for joining me today on the show. And I will talk to you guys soon. Good night.